This is Richard back at you. Today we've got a 2007 Dodge pickup in here, a 3500 two-wheel drive, a 5.9 diesel. Mr. Robert come in from all the way down from Tennessee to have me build his tranny. Mr. Robert's down here behind Trent right here.
Hello, Mr. Robert. How are you doing?
Yep. So he said it's got a little bit of shifting issues and stuff like that. We noticed the band was way out of adjustment and it couldn't be adjusted back because there's just so much gone. So let's get this thing apart and see what we got. So we got a 48 RE. It's a 2007. It's just got the stock converter. It's got your standard lugs on it that's going to break off sometime. It hasn't turned purple yet. He doesn't have it chipped or anything like that. He doesn't hot rod it. He does pull a small trailer. Fluid is starting to get a little bit of darkness to it. Now we are going to go back with a single billet converter. It's got a one-piece back on it where the lugs can't break off. It's got a billet backing where there ain't no flexing or anything like that, no ballooning of the converter. Definitely a really good upgrade. So that's going to make it really nice for him right there. So now this is a 48 RE. You can see the pump ring right here. This is basically for the converter drain back. These trannies have issues. If you let them set for 3 or 4 days, you go out there to move them and they won't move. Now this tranny does not pump in park. It does not pump in, or it pumps in neutral and in drive, but it does not pump in park. So it doesn't fill the converter if the converter ever drains back, and that's why they put this ring there. So now the new manual valve that we're putting in it from the shift kit, right here, this will let it pump in park now. So now when he starts it up, it will be pumping in park. So it will keep the converter full, and then the modification we do will help it keep from draining back with new bushings and stuff like that in the stator.
Stator looks funny, huh?
Yeah, it looks a little dark right there, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See how like it's gotten hot right there. Now these do have special bushings in them. They have a dimple bushing. That way the bushing holds a lot of oil. You can see that bushing. Most bushings don't have them dimples in them like that. But this is designed to keep a lot of oil in here to keep that bushing lubricated really well against that converter. So get this thing up on this lip.
Dang, two-wheel drives are a mile long.
They are. We got our output speed sensor here. Got a little bit of trash on it. Should be a little rubber O-ring right there. Now anytime you go messing with these screws right here, always kind of take and tap this with a hammer. I've already done it and got them loose. But if you don't, it's real easy to strip that torque socket out in this hole right here. But if you take and smack it one time, then it'll actually free it up itself, and then you can just take it out almost without a Torx.
Like he smacks the cameraman.
Yeah. In my
Excuse me.
Get that over there. Slide this down a little bit. Turn this over. What's crazy is on all the two-wheel drives, we never see this housing breaking. On all the four-wheel drives, we see a lot of breakage in these housings through here from a U-joint vibration or something like that, but we don't ever see the two-wheel drives break.
Never thought about that.
Yep, don't ever see them. So we got our overdrive clutch here. Now this just is a stock clutch system. The train's never been apart, I believe, since it's been new. Never been apart. We just got 5 clutches here. Now, we won't be going back with an extra clutch in this because the only way we can do it is to take a snap ring, a wavy snap ring right here. And if we do, since you have toe haul, we'll have downshifting clunk issues, and you won't like that. But once we put the shift kit in and put good clutches, this is still a really good pack. So now if you had a cable operated that wasn't throttled by wire, we could add that extra clutch. But since you have that toe haul button, that kind of eliminates that. We've had customer complaints and stuff like that. I wouldn't like it myself when I went and drove them, because it's mainly when you come to a stop, you get a boom right when you come to a stop. And it's because we took this snap ring out. We basically took that out, and then we put a plate in here that's been machined on these fingers to set it down farther. That way we can put more clutches and stuff in there. So then the wavy one goes against your flat one, like that. We'll take that and throw it away and put that other plate in there and do it. But you always want to replace these snap rings too, because they're bad about breaking. Especially this one down in here. Now this is your overdrive direct clutch assembly and your overdrive planetary assembly. We'll have to put it in a vise to take it apart. But this is the piece that the spring is 800-pound spring in there that'll kill you if you ain't careful. I showed a couple videos of me disassembling that and seeing what it looks like in there. The overdrive piston. I got my 3/8 socket real quick, Trent. I thought I grabbed it. Okay. Your band adjustment here for your intermediate. There. Now this is just a stock tranny. It's never been touched. But I believe you keep it pretty serviced, though, don't you?
Yes.
So, how many miles is on this?
143,000.
143,000. Hope that's it.
You're good.
Yeah, let's make sure. Now this is a factory style filter. You know, you're worried about him changing the filter. Now this is a factory filter to where we'll be putting an early model 3-speed filter on his, which is a really high flow filter. Did he change this before? It's hard to tell. You know, it's got a lot of gray. You know, it's been in there quite a while. You know, so it isn't plugged up, but it is pretty nasty to where, see, we'll be going back with this style filter. It's a real high flow filter, starts top and bottom. So instead of just being a bottom sucker, you know, see, so you can 70 model Dodge pickup with a 3-speed automatic is the same filter. So. Now these are your governor pressure sensors and solenoids here. This is what controls your downshifts, your upshifts, stuff like that. These are your 2 shift solenoids, your overdrive solenoid and your lockup solenoid. Now, you know, these are really sensitive to any type of trash. If I took a brand new sensor out and I cleaned it with solvent, I ruined it. So these are that sensitive to trash. That's why you never take them out of the bag until you put them in the tranny.
Okay.
type stuff. So you always replace them. They do have bigger upgrades for high horsepower ones and stuff, but I always like to stay with the factory style. It works really good for us. Whether it's
Run.
Now this just has a stock manual valve in it. Never been into. I'd like to tear this down and show everybody what they look like. Here, I'll do that if y'all got time. You got time here in a
Yeah.
second? Okay.
Might make another video.
As we go. Now this is your reverse, your reverse band here. This is your intermediate band here. You can already tell the drums. The band's gonna be cooked because I can see what the drum's starting to look like. The drum don't feel bad. If the drum's gonna be good, probably. It's just gonna have some staining, and that's all that is staining from the band. But I'm gonna walk this way. I don't want to get in front of your camera. Chrysler took a long time before they figured out what pump size they needed. They made multiple different sizes. They made a gas pump, then they made multiple diesel pumps. But people like to put gas pumps in diesels, and it just won't work because a gas pump is an RPM pump. A diesel pump is a non-RPM pump, so it makes pump pressure at low RPM because the diesel don't make no RPM. Where a gasoline pump can be smaller because the RPM, it makes more pressure. So if you put a gas in a diesel, you made a mistake because you ain't going to have the same volume of pump pressure and fluid. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on just a little bit so I can see here. Now the pump stator looks really good. There's no wear between your suction and your filter side. If you had a big old rut through here, you'd have to replace it because then you'd just be down here. This is this bushing I was telling you about. That this bushing gets anywhere, it can have converter drain back. The converter can drain back through this bushing right back into the pan overnight. So you always replace these bushings. We go back with high pressure rings here that your shift kit comes with. You can see it here. Get in here and look at the pump gears and stuff. Now you can see this old bushing's starting to get a lot of wear, and that's kind of odd. The old flywheel must be wore out in this thing.
It is. It's
Is
bad.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell. So we're gonna. But
We
see how the
have to do a
dimples are? It's
flywheel.
really wore here. There's not. The dimples are really thin.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then
flywheel's starting to move. What we do is we can get a billet flywheel as cheap, or if not cheaper, than a standard Cummins flywheel. So we need to put a billet one on there.
SFI. Okay.
That's what I've been trying to call Raymond.
It's almost still only 4.
Okay, I need to call him again.
Okay.
Pump gears look good, but we'll be replacing with new ones. We already have them there. Because there's only 3 thousandths clearance between this and this surface when you put them together. Mm-hmm. You get much wear, then you start having drain back issues to the pump gears. See, so there's a lot of common problems that cause that drain back problem that we have. So now this is your second gear band that Dodge puts in there. It's already cooked. Now we go back with a 3-speed 727 band, which looks like this, and it just puts a lot more material on the drum and stuff like that. A lot better band right here. So
She's stoked.
yeah, but the drum feels really good just staining. You can't even feel none of it. You can take your fingernail, you can't even feel none of that. You can see it, but you can't feel it. All the way around. And then even though I can't feel it, I'm going to check it for any type of bowing in there, any type of metal wear. See, that thing looks really good still.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you notice here, you have a wavy snap ring right here. Now we'll be taking this out and be going back with a solid snap ring, not a wavy one, which will firm up third gear. And now this is your third gear clutch. Now we're going to be adding one more clutch to this pack right here. Okay, which will be 6. This is your 48 RE drum. It's got the high snap ring groove. The gas one, the snap ring groove will be down lower, and they put less clutches in them because of the distance here. So your high pressure ring will go here too, and then your kit has rings here. This is your forward clutch ring right here, but your new kit, ring kit, will come with a new one right there. This green one will go here now. So mainly you want to look back here on the back and look for wear on these fingers. There's no wear. This is a pretty good plate. They make 2 versions of this right here. They make a good and a bad. That runs on there like that, and we see wear in here, but this doesn't have any wear. This your forward clutch is only 4. We're not going to add any clutches to this pack right here because it don't physically need any. My truck made 800 horsepower, almost over 1,400 foot-pounds of torque. And you just can't. It's crazy how this works. Now we can put too much pressure to the tranny and bend this. You know, when you put it in drive, you know, you can bend it and bow it, and we have to replace it, but you don't want to do. Cummins can, you can put the shift kits in them and build so much pressure that you can actually push the converter out of the tranny and push out the thrust on the crankshaft. So you got to be really careful on bumping up pressure on these Dodges. A lot of people, you know, like this on this valve body right here, they like to adjust this screw in all the way and just smash that pressure regulator spring to the max and raise your pressure up so high. But they don't realize the damage that they're doing in the long run because they don't understand the physics of the transmission, how it works. So. Now this does have 6 pinion planets all the way through it. It's a diesel, it's never been into, so the tranny's never been robbed. Still got all nice 6 pinion planets. We'll check these out really good, make sure everything looks good, but it looks really nice. Now these are since this is a 48 RE, the 47s too had the wide thrust washers in the back. So, but if you look at this washer, look how much force that washer's been pressed on these pins right here. So if it can put that indentation of that washer or that pin in that washer, how much force is it pushing on that washer? You know, on sliding type deal, because it slides on here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Still.
On how much pressure that washer can take. If you look at this one here,
same thing.
Same way. Feel that, sir.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how much that can embed that, but it didn't take out the washer. But
It sure didn't. But the other one was.
it was trying to take them out. Now this is your washer here that takes off in first gear. When it goes to second, the load's put here in second gear. Normally I see the wear vice versa, you know, but I'm seeing it this way this time. It's kind of odd, because normally the load getting the trailer moving right off the stop sign or the red light is more critical because you're trying to get that load moving. But This will get all new thrust washers. I have all the kits, and
Okay.
see, it gets all that stuff new. Yep. You can kind of see here what a brand new thrust washer looks like
Nice.
compared to. Okay, so it's a lot of load on a little washer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Amazing that it can do
yeah,
Well, I never babied it off the line when I told
that. He says he wheelies this, guys.
he does.
Popping wheelies.
Okay, don't walk away. You need a rag?
I found one.
Found one? Okay. Now this is your Sun Gear right here. We see a lot of wear in here a lot of times, and we're starting to see it here too. You see that stuff right in here on the teeth,
Pitting.
the
Yeah.
pitting and stuff right here. And it'll be on this side too. You see the pitting?
Oh, yep.
That's why you want to look. This actually, what's crazy, this gear's softer than these gears. These gears are hard as a rock.
Mm-hmm.
So you could damage this and not damage this. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But we want to look at all these gears and make sure there's no damage at all on every gear. Because this here will be put back in new. And we replace every one of them. So now this is yeah, so we replace everything. We don't mess around here at Precision Transmissions. This man's gonna get what he pays for. That's why he brought it. That's why he traveled as far as he traveled to get it done right. So here's your new Sun Gear here.
Oh, yeah.
Both sides look really nice. We'll change that out. Want to look in the shell where it locks in, see if there's any wear. You really don't see much wear in these. That's pretty much standard. But I'll take it apart and look at it, make sure the 47s and 48s, they went to this shell is so much thicker. The other shell was about this thick, and we've seen wear in here. Well, this new version, we don't see the wear. Now, they did have to update the width of this right here between these two snap rings because they made this wider. So they do make an early and a late gear right here in the shell.
Yeah.
So when you buy that. Now, this is your Overdrive Sun Gear too. It's actually inside this piece in here. If it's got that wear, that's got the same type of wear too. We're replacing it. And then, of course, we have our famous bearing and backing plate kit that goes on this Sun Gear like this that we'll replace. Like that goes on it, but it's up in here with that 800-pound spring that I've been talking about. That I won't take it apart in here with the customer or anything in here because it's just too dangerous for anybody except really me or Trent to be in here. But it's going to get all new stuff inside that drum too. So there's your other thrust washer here. Then you have another thrust washer here. It's amazing the load it puts on here.
Amazing it takes it.
6 pinion planets all the way around.
Beautiful.
Did you see my 727 video I did where I upgraded that 6 pinion planet into that? Yeah. And you got to know what you're doing to do that. That's some pretty crazy stuff.
Really?
Hey, it's working.
New snap ring pliers are working.
Still haven't used your new ones.
Yeah. Now we'll be going back with a brass washer here that comes in the kit. Look any wear in here, anything like that, any chatter marks where the sprag runs. Actually looks really nice.
Nice.
Got your reverse band. And then you got your sprag assembly. And you got your,
Gently persuaded it out of there.
yeah, your rear aluminum case support. If that little filter ever pops out, you're in trouble. I had a brand new one I put in, it popped out. It combines this clutch and your overdrive clutch together, just burns both up instantly. I mean, it'll take it right out. Brand new training got me one time because that filter come out. So,
Not bad.
not too bad. That many miles and stuff like that. See, we wanted to.
Trying to do servo.
Let's get over here and get this thing apart. That's what I want to look at. I like the good stuff.
We'll stop this one. I'm gonna make another one. Video's getting long. We'll do
Oh, yeah.
a 3 for 3 video, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.